Okay, so today we're going to be writing the equation of a line by using a graph. So we're going to write our equations in slope intercept form. So what that means is we're going to be writing them in the form y equals mx plus b. So in order to write the equation, we need to figure out what is the m and what is the b of our graph. So the m is the slope. Now remember, we find the slope by doing the rise over the run. And then the y-intercept is the b. Okay, so let's look at this first graph. We are going to find our m. So remember, our slope is our rise over our run. So we're going to pick 2 points on the graph. We'll say this point and this point. And I'm going to rise 1 and I'm going to run 3. So my slope is going to be 1 over 3. Now, if I look at my graph, I want to figure out what is the y-intercept. So that is the point where the line is hitting this y-axis. So it would be this point right here. So if we were to count down from the origin, we would see that this is 1, 2. So negative 2. So now we just want to rewrite our equation in slope-intercept form, but we want to plug in the m and the b that we found from the graph. So our equation will be y equals 1/3 x minus 2. Okay, so let's look at this next graph. So just looking at this graph, we want to remember that we read our graphs from left to right, and this is going down from left to right. So our slope is going to be negative. So we're going to first pick 2 points on the graph, on the line, and we're going to do the rise over the run. All right, let's look at this. So we rose 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we ran to the left negative 2. So our slope here is going to be negative 5 over 2. Now we want to look at where is our y-intercept. So I'm just going to erase this so we can see. Now our y-intercept is right here. So we count from the origin up. So we're going up, so it's going to be positive. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So my y-intercept is going to be 7. So now we just rewrite this equation in slope-intercept form. Y equals negative 5 over 2x plus 7. Okay, here's a couple more examples. So we're going to look at number 3. Now, just looking at number 3, the line is going up from left to right. So our slope here is going to be positive. So I'm going to pick my 2 points on the graph. And I'm going to rise up and run. And I rose up 1, 2, 3, 4. And I ran 1. So my slope here will be 4 over 1, which will simplify to just 4, because 4 divided by 1 is 4. Okay, now let's see where our y-intercept is. So our y-intercept is right here, because that's where the line is hitting this y-axis. So I'm going to count down. So I'm counting down from the origin. Here's the origin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So since I counted down, my answer is going to be negative, so it's negative 5. So just remember this always. Y equals mx plus b. All right, so now I'm going to fill in my slope and my y-intercept into that equation. So y equals 4x minus 5. All right, for this next example, again, we're going to look at the line. The slope is going down, so it's going to be negative slope. Okay, one thing I want you to always think about is my slope positive or negative? All right, now we're going to pick 2 points. We'll do these 2 points, and we're going to do rise over run. So I rose 2 because I went up, and then I ran to the left, so I went negative 2. So my rise is 2, and my run is negative 2. Now that can be simplified to negative 1. Now we're going to look at the graph and see where is our y-intercept. It's right there. So I'm going to count up from the origin. And since I'm counting up, it's going to be positive. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So my y-intercept is 7. So now we just need to plug in those 2 numbers into our slope-intercept form. So y equals negative 1x plus 7. Or we could also write this as y equals negative x plus 7. Okay, so now I want you to go over to the Google slide presentation and finish the 2 problems that are left in your note-taking guide.